Okay, get yourself seated. Sit on the lift and come into a good cross-legged position. Just have a little wriggle about, make sure that you're sitting evenly on the seat bones, and then hold on to your knees and lift the heart area up to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down to the floor. Just look down at the floor, look at something that doesn't move, so that your eyes stay still in the sockets, even if you soften the focus. Just aim to keep the muscles of the eyes soft and relaxed, while lifting the chest, elevating the heart area upwards and drawing the shoulders down away from your ears. Release your knees and bring your hands into Namaste. Press the palms firmly together. Lengthen your armpits into your elbows. Keeping your eyes still in the sockets, allow your eyes to gently close. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Soften your jaw and your tongue and your throat. With an exhalation, draw your chin down to meet your chest. Just spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area. And then very gently release the backs of your hands down towards your knees. Palms facing upwards, bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. Just a gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry into our practice. Raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to come back. Hold on to your knees, lift up into the chest, elevating the heart area upwards and consciously drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Observe what that does to your back. Does it make you kind of push the lumbar forwards really harshly? Draw the belly button towards the spine so that you keep the back relatively gentle and soft. Draw the shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation in through the nose. And then turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across and your ribs and your shoulders. And soften your jaw. Soften your jaw and your tongue and your throat. And then come back to the centre, hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, and then turn to the left. Observing how your body responds to the turn. Just listen to the physical body. And then gently come back to the centre. Come off your lift and come down into Adho Mukha Virasana. Have the big toes together, your knees apart, just sit back on your heels, lift up into the chest, and then come forwards, hinging at the hips, keeping the seat bones down on the heels, feeling the back broadening and opening. Spread the fingers, spread the palm. Listen to the breath. Listen to the sound of the in-breath, sound of the out-breath. And then come up onto your knees, turn your toes under, and come up into dog down. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, activating the legs, feeling that the legs are working evenly, that the internal balance of action is level and even. Make sure that you don't hold your breath as you stay. Keep the breath deep and gentle. Breathing from the bottom of the lungs to the top. Emptying from the top of the lungs to the bottom. In the back of the neck, be soft, letting the head hang down. And then step your feet forward, come up into a standing position. And then get some blocks for your hands. Just come into a standing position with the feet as wide apart as your mat. Just make sure that your toes are in line with each other. Make sure that the heels are touching the edge of the mat. Feel that they're touching the edge of the mat, of the yoga mat. Feel that the little toes are touching the edge of the yoga mat. Tighten the kneecaps, lift up into the chest, and then hinge at the hips. Keep the head lifted, keep the chest extending forwards. Beyond the fingertips. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Fill in your lungs from the bottom to the top, emptying them from the top to the bottom. Keeping the kneecaps tightened, keeping the fronts of the thighs lifting up towards the top of the leg, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards so that the backs of the thighs broaden outwards, giving you space to lift the seat bones away from the backs of the thighs. Project the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin. If you can go down lower without losing that extension, then do. But as soon as you bend your knees or you start to round your back, if you can't address that and correct it, then go higher on the blocks. But feel that there is an internal balance of action. In terms of effort, in terms of general penetration of the pose. If there's no problem with your back, then you can hook the thumbs into the crease of the elbows, wrap your fingers around your elbows, and then hang down. Just really stretching out the lower back. But if you've got lower back problems and this aggravates it, go back to having your hands on the blocks or on the floor. So preferably higher up is better. Lengthen the elbows down to the floor, lengthening from the armpits into the elbows. Lifting the legs from the feet into the shins, into the knees, into the thighs, into the hips. Lengthening from the hips into the armpits, into the elbows. Okay, and then just gently release the hands back down to the floor. Bring your hands into your hips and then come up into a standing position. Just come into Tadasana. Just be in Tadasana. Inner edge of the feet together, lifting up into the chest. Feel that you can lift out of the feet into the legs, into the thighs, into the hips, into the torso, into the shoulders, into the neck. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards your chest. Step or jump your feet nice and wide. Turn your left toes in, your right leg and foot all the way out. And then keeping that back leg firm. Come down into trikonasana. Trikonasana. Turning the chest up to face the ceiling. Looking up. Breathing in and out through the nose if you can. Turning the front of the thigh, especially of that right leg, from the big toe side to the little toe side. Turning the chest up to face the ceiling. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, feeling that the legs straighten by tightening at the kneecaps. Reach up, come back to the centre. Swap the feet around, turn the right toes in, the left leg and foot all the way out. And then come over to the other side. Listen to the breath. Just find yourself in 3 dimensions. Feel where the feet are in relation to the hips. Feel where the legs are in relation to the feet, in relation to the hips, in relation to the torso. Suck from the feet into the shins, into the knees, into the thighs, into the hips, into the torso, into the spine, into the heart area, into the arms, into the neck, into the head. And back to the centre, bring your feet parallel and then step, jump the feet back together, just come back into Tadasana and just spend a few moments just to observe your energy. Observing how your energy has changed. So listening to the breath. Listening to the in-breath and to the out-breath. Focusing on the breath to allow the energy to settle. Okay. Spread the toes of the left foot. If you can lift the leg of your shorts on the left leg, then do. We can come into vrksasana, the tree pose. So spread the toes of the left foot, lift the right leg and bring the right foot as high up into the thigh as you can. If you need something to help you to balance, just be close to a wall, or you can have just a chair, or I've got this post here, that always helps if I lose my balance. Tighten the kneecap of the standing leg. Turn the front of the thigh inwards from the little toe side to the big toe side like you do in Tadasana. Losing my balance. Lift from the hips up into the armpits. And then raise your arms over your head. Ideally, I'm going to have to adjust just because of reduced ceiling height, but ideally we have the hands in vrksasana, palms facing each other, arms shoulder width apart. Just look at something that doesn't move. Breathe evenly in through the nose, out through the nose, listening to the breath. Release your arms, come back into Tadasana. Just swap the legs around, so lift the shorts of your right leg if you can. Spread the toes of the right leg, bring the left foot up into the inner thigh. Keep that standing leg firm in Tadasana, tightened at the kneecap, turning the front of the thigh inwards. Lift up into the chest, keep pushing the foot into the leg into the foot, and again raise your arms over your head. Breathing even, deep inhalations and exhalations. Just feel those fluctuations in balance. Observe how the leg naturally adjusts to accommodate it. Strengthens the ankles and the knees. Really good for developing deeper pro-reciprocation of the ankle joints. And then release your arms, release your legs, and then come back into Tadasana, just lifting up into the chest. Breathing even, deep inhalations and exhalations, listening to the breath. Okay, I want you to sit on a lift, so a couple of blocks preferably. You might also need to have a little lift underneath your feet. So we're going to do malasana, which is a forward bend. If you've done malasana before and you know you can't keep your heels down, then have your folded blanket and then put the blocks on top of that. Just make sure that the blocks still feel level. So you've got the folded blanket just for the heels there. So if you need that, then use your folded blanket again, just making sure that it still keeps your hips level, and then just stretch the legs away. You might need some additional blocks. I'll just grab a couple of extra blocks. So you might need a couple of extra blocks to help you to lift off. So have a couple of blocks to the side of you if you've got any spare ones, just to help you to lift off. So sit on the blocks with just try and get the backs of the thighs free of the blocks that you're sitting on, and then the blocks at the sides, you can press your hands into the floor and then lift up into the chest. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, tighten the kneecaps and press the hands into the floor or onto the blocks and roll onto the front edge of the seat bones. And then raise your arms. So this isn't malasana quite yet. This is just a good preparation for the pose. So in malasana, we come forwards with the back, and we try and come forwards initially with a straight back, but eventually you kind of round the back, but rolling onto the front edge of the seat bones, drawing the abdomen to the spine, lifting the abdomen to the chest. It's a good starting point for malasana. Just release your arm. So that was dandasana, but now when you go into malasana, bring the feet in towards the body as close as you can get. And then initially you just hold onto your knees and lift from the abdomen to the diaphragm to the collarbone, drawing your shoulders away from your ears. And then you reach up like you're doing dandasana, lifting from the abdomen to the diaphragm to the collarbone. And then swing yourself forwards so that you come off the seat bones. Keep the head lifted, keep the shoulders away from the ears, keep the heels down, so you might have to just draw your weight into the tailbone, draw the tailbone in, lift the chest, lift the head, keep the shoulders away from the ears, keep the arms straight. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Smile, release the jaw, soften the tongue. And then just come back down and stretch the legs out in front. So, everyone managed to lift off the blocks pretty well there. If you struggled, however, you can just get the blocks and you can just push yourself off. And then you come forwards and stretch your arms out that way. So you can push yourself off. Again, if your heels really want you to lift off the floor, then put the blocks onto top of the folded blanket so that and then have or you can just have the blanket like this and then put there. But it does get in the way a little bit that way. Let's do it again. So just come into dandasana to begin with. Lift up into the chest, straighten the back. Lift the abdomen consciously to the diaphragm, to the collarbone. Shoulders down away from your ears. Bend your knees, bring your feet in towards the body. Hold onto your knees and lift up into the chest. Lift the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone. Reach up and again come forwards, keeping the heels down. So initially your weight might go into your toes. So that's fine, let that happen, and then turn the tailbone in a little more. Keep the chest lifted, keep the chest lifted, and then just bring your weight back so that it goes into the heels. Keep lengthening forwards. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Keep the breath soft. So I'm not talking like this, I'm talking with a soft, gentle approach. So try and do the pose with a soft, gentle approach. Keep breathing. Okay. And then gently release. And then stay sitting on the lift and come into cross legs. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. So that pose is pretty warming, isn't it? So just acknowledge how the body feels after pose. Hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest. Take a deep inhalation, and with an exhalation, lift the chest a little more, drawing the shoulders down away from your ears. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Just focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. And then stretch your legs out. And then just bring yourself off the lift. Have the blocks where you can still reach them. And then come into cross legs. You can do half padmasana if that is more comfortable. But cross legs otherwise. So again, if you really kind of roll back like this, if you can't roll onto the front edge of the seat bones, then sit on a folded blanket. So we can do swastikasana or half padmasana as a forward bend. Just be cautious when you do forward bending that if you've got a bad back, it can be quite strong for your back. So just be cautious of coming forwards too quickly and too deeply if there are issues with your back. So hold on to your knees, lift up into the chest, elevate the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. And then if you've got a bad back, just stay at this stage, lifting the abdomen up to the diaphragm, up to the collarbone. If you feel like your back will cope, then bring the torso forward, but all the time lifting from the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin. Coming forwards just a little bit at a time. Now you can get the blocks and have the blocks out in front and just gently walk your hands forwards. If you can bring the blocks down lower or bring the hands down onto the floor without losing the extension of the spine, then do. Keep coming forwards. At some stage your tailbone and your seat bones will lift off the floor, so draw the tailbone in. Try and get the seat bones to press into the floor. Press the hands into the floor so that you stretch back from the hands into the armpits, into the hips. And then, again, you might need a block. I want you to create 2 fists for your hands, one fist on top of the other like this. Have them on the floor, and then bring the forehead down. If you can't reach, then have a block. Put the fists on the blocks, or if you still can't reach, have 2 blocks. Just coming forwards, resting your forehead into the fist. So press your forehead into the fist, press the fist into the forehead. So you're not sure which one you're doing more determinedly. Forehead into the fist into the forehead. So this gentle pressure on the frontal lobes of the brain, allow the brain to quieten. Keep breathing deeply. Just listening to the sound of the breath. Just let the body rest into the forward bend. And then raise your head. Come back up into a seated position, observing how your brain feels quieter after bringing yourself out of a forward bend. Swap the crossing of your legs. So however you're crossing legs, if you're in half padmasana, the leg that's on the top, put that under and have the other leg on top. If you're doing normal cross legs, then cross the legs the other way, the unnatural way. So just do whichever you didn't do last time. Just make sure that you feel comfortable and even. Have those blocks for the forward bend element. Lift up into the chest, drive the chest forwards, keeping the head lifted. Have your hands on the blocks, or you can just reach onto the floor. Just use whatever you need. Coming forwards, coming forwards. When you start to lift off the seat bones, then push your hands really firmly into the floor and lengthen from the hands into the armpits, into the hips. And then create a couple of fists for your hands. So you'll probably do the same configuration again. The fist that's on the top, swap it around so that fist is on the bottom and the other fist is on the top. And then bring the forehead down.
Pressing the forehead down onto the fist. Just enjoying the quietness of the pose. Okay, raise your head. Come back to just sitting upright. And lift up into the chest. Drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side. Digging the back hand into the floor. Feeling as you turn that you can maintain levelness with the seat bones. You don't just roll over onto that right seat bone. You keep both seat bones level by drawing the torso between the two hips. And then come back to the center. Hold on to your knees, lift up into the chest. And then turn to the left. And then gently come back to the center. Okay, so we're going to do a restorative pose that really helps to stretch out your back. So you'll need a bolster. If you haven't got a bolster, you can use some cushions. So I'll show you. We're going to do our side lying stretch. Looks much more uncomfortable than it actually is. So you just have to take your word for that a little bit. So you have the bolster, and then it's the abdominal walls that are going to sit on top of the bolster. So it's the kind of the top of the hip is touching the bolster, but it's really the abdominal walls that are on the bolster. And then you stretch your arms out, and then you stretch your legs away, and you make sure that you're in a good straight line. And you're not rolling towards the floor, you're not rolling up towards the ceiling, you're basically just balancing on your side. So stretching out initially, but then once you have stretched out, then let the body release, let the legs gently release, let the arms soften. So restorative poses aren't about extension, they're about relaxing into the pose. So you might want to bring the front foot, the top foot forwards a little bit, or just keep the feet on top of each other. Just make sure you're in a good straight line. So we can stay here for a little while. And the aim is to relax. And so I'll stop speaking for a little while, just to help you to engage with the relaxation rather than having to listen to instructions. So relax into the floor. Let the legs relax, let the arms relax. Let the body just sink into the floor. Just as you stay, allow the body to mould into the shape of the pose. Just progressively moving more deeply into it. Okay, bend your knees, relax your arms and roll onto your roll onto your abdomen, push your elbows into the floor and then bend your knees and push yourself back up onto your heels. Just sit back on your heels for a moment, just observing the energy around the spine. So we're going to do the other side. So I'm just going to come over to the other side, but you can just do it just facing the opposite direction. So you just sit on the other side, but I'm just doing it this way so I'm still facing the camera. And again, just have the abdominal wall attached to the bolster. Stretch your arms out, your legs out, making sure that you're in a really good straight line. Just stretch out initially. And then just let the body relax, let the arms relax, let the legs relax. Just feeling that you're balanced on the side hip or the side abdomen, not rolling onto your front, not rolling onto your back. Just let the legs relax, let the arms relax. Just allow the body to relax into the pose. So with restorative poses, the benefits come from holding the pose for an extended stay. Okay, bend your knees, bend your elbows, and then gently roll onto your front, your abdomen. Push your elbows into the floor. Bend your knees and walk your knees in towards the bolster. And then push yourself up into a seated position, just observing the physical body. Stay back on your knees and have the bolster between your knees, or have the lift between your knees. You can make the bolster higher up by putting a couple of blocks underneath the bolster, or having two bolsters on top of each other. And then we're just going to come forwards, lengthening forward, and then coming into the restorative child's pose. So letting your elbows rest either side of the body, with your elbows wide enough apart so that you're not supporting your weight with your elbows. You're letting the body drape over the bolster. Have your head on one side, and we'll swap that over. But just again, just let the body drape over the bolster. So again, you're not working to consciously extend, you're working to consciously relax. So sometimes that means just letting the body be in the moment and releasing into the floor. Just lift your head, swap the side of your head that you're resting on, so you stretch out your neck evenly. Again, just lift the head, swap your head onto the other side. evening out the stretch of the neck. Just one more time, swap the position of your head so that you're stretched evenly. And then push your hands into the bolster, into the floor, sorry, push your hands into the floor underneath your shoulders, and then push yourself up into cross legs. Just observe how your energy has changed. And then just move the bolster, have it for underneath your knees, have a folded blanket for underneath your head, and then just for the last couple of minutes, just shavasana with the bolster underneath your knees, just laying yourself down along the floor, covering yourself up for warmth if you need it, resting yourself down into the floor, making sure you're in a good, precise straight line, and then allow the body to release into the floor. Soften your jaw and your tongue and your throat. Just let the body completely relax into the floor so that it becomes light, letting go of the muscles of the arms and the legs. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute a feeling of energetic lightness down into the toes and into the fingers and up into the top of the head. Just let the body become light on the inside, just basking in that energetic lightness. Take a deep inhalation and then wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, bring yourself back into this pose of Shavasana. And then bend your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster, have the feet apart and your knees together. Just resting your back into the floor. And then very gently roll over onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then when you're ready, straighten out the top leg, come back up into seated position. Just coming into cross legs with your hands in the masti, a final spinal lift. Draw your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the reclining poses bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet the chest. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then very gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb, a gesture of wisdom, physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry into our day. Release your head, allow your eyes to softly open and focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel as though you have really gently but seriously released your energy and you've got lots of good energy to put into your day. So thank you very much for joining.